Look, it's been crazy here. I've been in Dubai now for a month, and the last 3 days or 3 business days, I've been actually shooting a reality show about investing in ultra high-end luxury transformation projects. So we're not just finding deals here, we're actually putting media out about us finding deals. Now, why are we doing this? Well, I'm looking further down the line, and I know that if all of the developers in Dubai see me doing this on YouTube, on Instagram, on X, and they see us racking up hundreds of thousands of millions of views, then they'll send us their deals incoming and we'll have a better selection of choices, which should give us higher returns. Does that make sense to everybody here? So there's a bit of a method to our madness. And so the deal we're closing right now for the initial cohort of people inside the property circle is literally the deal we're investing in. And so we're planning on closing that tomorrow on a yacht for our second day of shooting to our third day of shooting this week. And it's been pretty crazy because I have been all around the city seeing incredible properties. I was on the Frond G of the Palm Jumeirah here. It's called Billionaires Row. And if you know the palm, it kind of goes out like this, right? And so Frond G is up here on the top near the Atlantis Royal Hotel. And we were in a 200 million dirham home, and it was pretty incredible, right? It was pretty impressive, right? So it's $55 million house, just blow away what you get in there. It's just like, again, of course, it's on its own private beach. It's got its infinity pool that's, as long as the whole place. And just the attention to detail that goes into ultra luxury is something people don't understand. And that's why we're making money on these properties, because if you come into town and you're a billionaire and you want a place that's going to be a signature piece, you can't just come into town and, stay at the Hyatt or get some room at some hotel. You have to have a property that makes a statement of who you are. And that's the kind of thing we're designing. Now, look, there's a lot of luxury buildings going up. Mercedes-Benz just announced they're building 11 towers, 11 towers of luxury. The car company Bugatti just sold their penthouse for $150 million. And you've got Lamborghini coming in and all these other brands that actually building property. The problem with that is nobody wants one of 8,000 Mercedes-Benz penthouses, right? Does that make sense to everybody here? It's like luxury is about scarcity. And the problem is they're nice and they might be good, for your bachelor pad. But first of all, a family's not going to live there. And it's not going to be a one of one, a unique piece that you want to talk to your friends about. And if you look at the ultra end of luxury, a Bugatti, I mean, every Bugatti is an individual car, right? And it comes with a story. And when you get to the high end of the market, that's what it is. And it's also little tiny details. And so I've been walking through the properties with the developers and the architects, and they show me the difference between a luxury property and an ultra luxury property. I also got to meet with one of the high-end concierges in Dubai, who also is part of the package. And he makes it seamless. When people walk into their property, they get automatically the concierge service. He works on the visas for the driver, for the gardeners, for the nannies. He makes sure you've got the table booked at Nobu. He gets the Birkin bags for the lady. He gets the hypercars for the man. And he makes sure that everything is there for a smooth turnkey approach. Today, I was at the Royal Atlantis Hotel at one of the penthouses at the top, 100 million dirhams, right? So $20 million house. The place was incredible. Had views on both sides, overlooking, kind of the whole Gulf area on one side and overlooking the Palm on the other. Just incredible. And I think the Royal Atlantis Hotel is the most beautiful hotel in the world. The royal family and His Highness spent time on every single detail. And it's just incredible to walk around, and to actually be in that penthouse was amazing. And so I'm really getting a look into what the opportunities here are and how we're going to be able to make money on these transformation projects. As Mark said, an article dropped on Google News a week ago and showed that somebody had bought a Palm Jumeirah villa for $3 million and sold it for $6.5 million in 12 months' time. So that did 118% return. Mark, it might have been 11 months. All right. That was 118% return. That was just a random article I found when I typed in Dubai luxury property. All right. So I get DMs all the time saying, Brian, come on, you worked on Wall Street. 40% returns are impossible. I'm like, really? Well, some random person that I don't even know just bought a villa and did 118. And so we are actually taking part of this. I don't think this is going to last very long. I think we got a few years. And I think because of our media channel, we are attracting deals that most people would never see. I would bet that you probably never even heard of this niche of luxury property, right? A luxury transformation. And that's what we're investing in. So we're closing out this first deal. I'm literally going to close it on camera tomorrow. That's kind of the official on camera close, but we're getting a last couple members in. We got people joining us from all around the world. We got people in Australia, in New Zealand, in Kuwait, in Oman, in Dubai, in Saudi, in almost every country in Europe, Canada, America, Mexico, all over. Because London Realers are around the world and they all know something special is happening in Dubai. And so we're really looking forward to telling you what we're doing here. If you're talking to Mark, that's great. Look, we're really busy right now. And so if we don't get back to you right away, just give us a minute because we're onboarding people that get it. Some people get this right away. They're like, oh, Brian, I get it. Dubai real estate, 40, 90% returns, SPV structured. You're on the ground making sure we get these returns. We know what you've been doing for the last 5 years with London Real Ventures. You deployed $25 million in capital. We want in. And so we get in those people that are just like, yes, yes, yes. And we get them in the deal as fast as possible. So that's what's happening now. I want to jump in and show you some of the news that were happening on the ground. If you got any questions, just send me a DM here and just ask me. I don't mind answering everything at the end. But this is the headline that actually I saw yesterday, and I wanted to incorporate it in here. But a tenfold in 5 years. That's basically 10x in 5 years. And that's how Dubai real estate quietly became the best investment on the planet. Pretty incredible when you think about it. And this is the article that came out, Khalid Times, I guess it was yesterday, right? And again, ultra luxury property deals surged tenfold in 5 years. That's a 25% increase year on year. And it just goes to show you the kind of action that's happening here. Folks, we've also seen 500 sales valued at over 10 million US dollars in 2025. Over 500, right? And I'm going to show you some numbers about who the people are buying them, but that's pretty incredible. I doubt London or Miami or New York has those kind of numbers. Maybe New York, I don't know. But this is pretty impressive. And so you can see that the volume is really going through because the wealthy are moving to Dubai. Also, this is the article I mentioned, happened just a couple weeks ago. Somebody bought a Palm Jumeirah villa for $3 million and sold it for $6.5 million. It was actually 13 months, but that gets a annualized return of 118%. Pretty impressive, right? So these things are happening every day. If you're here in Dubai, you know. If you're not here, you don't really know what's going on here. And most people have misconceptions about this place and they don't really understand what this place is all about. Folks, before we get started, just want to say this presentation is for information purposes only. It's not intended to be investment advice. If you're looking for that, please go find a professional. I also want to give you this free video, which is how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. I'll give you a link to that at the end of this. We'll be done in about 20, 30 minutes, and you can go watch that for free. Who is Brian Rose, right? That's what my mom used to ask me when I was misbehaving as a child. Well, I started my career on Wall Street in 1993. As a derivatives trader for a company called Bankers Trust. I just finished my degree at MIT. I got a mechanical engineering degree, and they were hiring us rocket scientists to come to Wall Street and price their complicated derivative models. I got there. I still remember driving in Manhattan. It was a scary place for a young man, but the energy there was palpable. And I took my Series 7, my Series 63 exams to become a licensed broker dealer. And I got on the floor and they let me go right away. I mean, they gave me a phone to the futures exchange. I was trading treasuries and I was running like a $500 billion derivatives book. It was insane, but this is the way it happened. And I spent 15 years on Wall Street. I actually moved to Chicago, worked for the First National Bank of Chicago, moved to London, worked in Tokyo, and finished my career in the credit derivatives market, which was incredible, very lucrative. But at some point, I had enough of the banking world and I quit and I started becoming a YouTuber, right? That's what I joke with my kids. Your dad's a YouTuber. And I started London Real. And over the past 15 years, I've interviewed over 1,000 of the greatest minds on the planet. Some of the best minds in real estate, finance, and also in just pulling the trigger and building value for investors. They taught me how to do that. And we've been executing on that for the last 4 or 5 years. I spent the last 5 years studying Dubai up close because I was coming here to invest in blockchain companies. And we've invested over $25 million with some huge, huge payouts. And that's what I got coming here for. And I fell in love with this place. I won't lie. I am no longer in love with London. I'm now in love with Dubai. But I told them both, so we're very clear, between the two of them. They know how I feel. But the truth is that I just love this place for so many reasons. And of course, we now have 1 billion views on London Real, 5 million followers worldwide, 6 documentary films. I mean, the list goes on, but people know who we are. I get stopped in the streets now on this documentary film, and people are thanking me. And a lot of the people in real estate know me. And so it really positions us perfectly to get better deals for our investors. Folks, these are some of the minds in real estate I've had the pleasure of spending many, many years with. I first interviewed Grant Cardone, pictured here. This is probably back in 2015, 16. Grant now has $5 billion of assets under management in the real estate business. When I met Grant, he didn't even have $1 billion. I've interviewed Grant, his wife, his pilot, you name it. And he was just on the show recently about 4 or 5 weeks ago. So Grant's a great friend. How many people know Grant? He's pretty big in the property industry. You kind of know him if you're in America. And look, Grant always pushed me to go bigger and to think bigger. And he has a rule called the 10X rule. And that's what we're here doing. How can we 10X everything we're doing? How can we 10X your returns, 10X the capital, 10X our deal flow? And that's all thanks to Grant. How many people know this gentleman here, Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad? What an amazing book, right? We love Robert. I became friends with Robert. Wow, it's almost 10 years now. I interviewed him once at one of his events at the Excel Center in London. I remember it was just haphazard. I brought a camera guy. We had 20 minutes while he was wolfing down a sandwich in the back scenes. But he really liked me. He liked what we were doing, and we stayed in touch. I ended up taping things with him in Phoenix. I've been on stage with him in Singapore, and we're now really good friends. And Robert only owns real assets. He owns real estate. He owns gold. He owns Bitcoin. He doesn't trust Wall Street. Neither do I. And he doesn't put his money in nonsense like mutual funds and all these stuff with these hidden fees, right? And Robert taught me a lot about sticking to things that are real, right? And finite. And that's what we're doing this as well. That's why we're in crypto, and that's why we're now in property. This is Jim Rickards. He wrote a book called Currency Wars. He's really known as a legend on Wall Street. He worked for a company called Long-Term Capital Management, which was huge in the mid to late 90s. He actually does war games for the US government, but they're financial war games. And every year he takes them through disaster scenarios. Jim's been a great friend, a tremendous mentor, and he's always giving me great direction on what the future holds. And of course, a lot of you know Dan Pena, the $1 trillion man. Raise your hand if you know this guy. Yeah. He is known for his castle in Scotland. He's known for creating over $1 trillion in net worth by guiding his mentees for great results. And this is a picture of Dan giving me an award to be a member of his Hall of Fame. And so now there's a picture of me up at Guthrie Castle in Scotland next to all of his billionaires because he recognized just the tremendous output that we put out as London Real. Also, I think this is the only known photograph of Dan smiling. So take a screenshot for that. It might not be around very long. He's trying to delete it from the internet, I was told. But I love Dan and hate him equally. So why Dubai? Well, folks, this is the #1 destination for global wealth migration, period. And I'm going to show you the slide. Next slide. It's going to blow your mind, right? Everyone is moving here because this is where the millionaires and billionaires are coming for many, many reasons. And I'll share that to you. There's also a severe shortage of what we call turnkey luxury supply. What does that mean? Well, it's like you mentioned, you turn the key, you open it up, and it's done. By the way, when people walk into our luxury transformation properties, they walk into a fully furnished home with linens, with appliances in the kitchen, with cutlery, with everything that's perfectly suited to the design of that home, right? You don't have to argue with your wife about furnishings for 12 months, right? You don't have to yell at your kids because, they're not putting these things in here. It's all done for you. And people are willing to pay a premium for these places that are complete. And that's how we're going to generate the returns here. This market is built for high performance returns. Why? Well, #1, there is zero personal tax. Can you believe that, Mikhail? Raise your hand if you're paying zero personal tax right now. None of my business. If you're doing some creative accounting, that's between you and your guy. But otherwise, it's impressive, right? Most people around the world never conceive of paying zero personal tax. Doesn't happen in America, Canada, Mexico, Europe, EU. No other country that I know of can you actually do it. And there's also no capital gains tax. Think about that. So you can buy these luxury villas and flip them, no tax there. So this really is built for high performance returns. Of course, there's rapid economic growth here. This city grows 5% a year, but it's not random immigrants taking boats across the channel or sneaking across the border. It's high net worth, high educated people that are coming here to build businesses and build wealth. So this place grows with maximum GDP. And of course, it's full of cash rich international buyers. You know, Mark's heard me say this before. I believe that Dubai is anti-fragile. What does that mean? Well, when you shock the world, Dubai gets stronger. And that's what anti-fragile means. It means that something gets stronger the more you shock it. I'm a little bit like that as well throughout my life. When you put me in a tough situation, a lot of times I come out stronger than before. Maybe a lot of you are the same way. And so what happened in 2020 during COVID? The world was shocked. What happened? Everyone moved to Dubai because they did not have all this nonsense going on. They actually opened the place up very, very fast. Then Russia invaded Ukraine. What happened? All the Ukrainians moved to Dubai. Guess what else happened? All the Russians moved to Dubai who didn't want to get drafted, didn't want to put up with the nonsense, right? Then October 7th happened in Israel. What happened? People moved to Dubai. And then more recently in the United Kingdom, Labor government was installed, taxes were raised, and they actually killed the tax loophole for non-domicile, kind of wealthy people in the UK. So they tried to tax your global wealth if you were a non-citizen in the UK. And guess what? Everybody left. And so the world is going to continue to get shocked for the next 100 years. And every time there's a shock, people are moving here. So this is going to grow because it is the place that makes the most sense when it comes to refuge. Folks, take a look at this. This is going to blow you away. In 2025, 142,000 millionaires relocated from their countries. They left. They had enough. Look at the very top country that's attracting the majority of those people, the United Arab Emirates. And most of those people are in Dubai. 9.8 thousand millionaires. How many billionaires are in there? How many decabillionaires and centibillionaires? I know 2 centibillionaires here in the UAE. So they're coming too, right? Where else are they going? Well, some go to the United States. Some go to Italy because they have kind of a tax loophole where you can pay a certain amount. I think it's 200,000 euros and you're fixed. And then go all the way to the bottom. What do we see on the bottom there, Mikhail and Leandro? What do we see? The United Kingdom. My former home, 16,500 millionaires gone. How many billionaires gone? How many $1 trillion of capital did they lose by the decisions they're making? And guess what, folks? It's getting worse. It's only going to get worse. I think the West is in a serious state of decline, and it's not going to turn around for 20 years, especially Western Europe. I'm sorry, but I see no way that turning around. They're socialists. They're going to embrace all the bad things. They do not have a Trump to turn their economy around. And this is just going to bleed and bleed and bleed. Let's be honest. The Gulf region is the new West. It really is. It represents freedom. It represents capitalism in a way that Western Europe and even the United States does not anymore. And that's just the truth. So what is a luxury transformation? Well, it's not just a random purchase of a luxury property. Those are everywhere here. Those are common, and you don't get great returns, those. This is a targeted upgrade of a premium property. I'm going to show you a case study in just a second. What does that mean? We go find a villa that's in a prime location, but it's 15 years old, right? We look at it and we say, look, I wouldn't mind living there, but Mr. Billionaire and his kids and his wife that are moving from somewhere around the world, London, Monaco, Miami, they don't want to live there. They need something that is Instagrammable. They need something that's perfect. They need something with the finest, Italian marble, the finest Italian furniture, the finest Italian kitchen appliances. I'm becoming an expert on this, by the way. Right. And so that's what they want. They want that premium property. It's designed to match exactly what they want. It's hard enough trying to convince your family to move to Dubai. I've been trying for the last 2 years. It's hard. But it's even harder if you tell them we're going to move into a building site for 12 months. Does that make sense to everybody here? Right? Can you imagine, honey, we're going to Dubai and we're going to be dusty for 12 months. She's going to be like, no, I think I'm going to stay here in Monaco. Why don't you go? And the kids are going to stay with me. What you want to do is show her a place she can move right into that's beyond her dreams when it comes to that. And of course, our strategy is built to unlock significant value fast. Why? Quick turnaround times. And this is what I'm learning being here on the ground. We're actually not timing the market because the market's not going to change drastically in 12 months. We are betting on execution because the demand is already there. All we have to do is keep this project on track, make sure that we get the right place in the right location. We're working with developers that also are brokers who know how to flip these properties. And then it's about execution. So we're actually not timing the market. We are taking advantage of the Dubai luxury and ultra luxury demand and wave, but we're not trying to bet on where real estate prices are going to be 5, 7 years from now, right? And I'm not buying something that doesn't exist. That's also definitely has risk to it. So quick turnaround times and high performance returns, you've seen those. When you can get 118%, not over 3 years, Mikhail, that would give you still a pretty good return, 40%. But what if I can get you that in 12 months or 13 months? That's how we make the great returns. Folks, I'm going to play a video, but when I first heard about 40 to 90% returns, I knew this was something special. When I worked on Wall Street, if you ran a hedge fund and made 25% annual returns, I mean, you were the best in the business. And a lot of my friends I watched them make 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 million over the course of 7, 8, 9 years. It was really impressive to watch. And so what I want to know here is that when I see things like 40 to 90, I know that this is something very special because those returns, if we compound them, can get very interesting fast. And here's a video that I made to describe it a little bit better. Dubai real estate is exploding, and the biggest money is being made where almost nobody is looking, in premium luxury transformation projects that have historically delivered 40 to 90% annual returns. That is incredible. For years, these opportunities were locked inside private networks. You never saw them. You never had access until now. I've spent 15 years on Wall Street and 5 years studying Dubai up close. And today, for the first time ever, you can invest directly alongside my team. We have just received a brand new project with real potential for outsized returns. And early allocations always fill fast. Click the link and apply now. Your opportunity starts today. So that gives you a little more feel of what we're doing here. And again, I'm going to be dropping more content soon. When this reality show comes out, I mean, you'll literally be behind the scenes and you'll see exactly what's going on. And you'll see the opportunities. You'll see really the quality that goes into these projects. It's impressive. Folks, this is a case study of a luxury transformation with the same developers we're working with now that made a 93.8% return. Okay, again, we're back to the Palm Jumeirah. This is where I was today, or at least I was on the end of it. I overlook this every day outside my window. It's beautiful. But these homes are old. Some of them have been there for 15 years plus. So this is what they did. They acquired an old villa, cost them $7.1 million. They spent $6.3 million on renovations and permits. The total investment was $13.4 million. They built it. They executed on their plan. And 12 months later, they sold it for $25.9 million. That's a cool 93.8% return. Pretty impressive stuff, right? But this is a case study along with the others that we've seen that is just showing you this is where it happens. And there's many, many case studies just like this. When you join us, we have a portal where you can go in and see all the case studies. And we show you those, and then we show you the deal we're working on now, and you can price that. Folks, here's some headlines that I talked about earlier. Again, tenfold in 5 years for Dubai's ultra luxury property is pretty impressive. And what is it? I zoomed into this article. Who's buying? Well, European buyers are the majority at 58%, right? Asian investors at 23%, but you've actually got buyers from 33 nations in this city. I mean, I walk around in my building, I got lots of Russians, Ukrainians, people from Kazakhstan. You got people from all over the Middle East, like Saudi, Oman. I got people from Asia and China. I got an American dude I met today. He stopped me on the street. He's like, "Hey, Brian, where's London Real?" I was like, "That's me. That's me, baby." He's like, "I just moved from New York City." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yep, I wanted to change. I'm in AI. I'm here." People are moving from the UK in droves, Europe, everywhere, because this is the obvious place for everybody to be. Here's more interesting things here as you drill down, but you can see that the villa segment in particular has seen explosive growth. So off-plan villas now represent 51% of all the prime transactions. And again, a staggering 915% increase in volume since 2021. That's pretty crazy. But again, people are now moving to these bigger homes. And here's the secret that nobody wants you to know in this town. is that it used to be that you bought a one-bedroom flat in a tower downtown and you flipped that property 3 years later. But that was just an investment. People are now moving to Dubai to live. They want to move their family and they want to own a property, not to flip, but as a home. And we're catering to that audience that's willing to pay a premium so they can live large and live the way they're used to living wherever they're coming from. And that's what we're honing in on. In fact, buying these one bedrooms and studios now is a fool's game. It's not the smart way to invest for the future. Of course, you saw earlier 500 sales at over a 10 million US dollars. I mean, that's a lot of high-end property. And of course, Dubai luxury property hit record highs in 2025, more than $9 billion of prime sales this year or last year. And the ultra rich are now buying homes, right? They want to move here. And of course, you can see the number here last year, 70 properties worth at least $25 million, right? You can really see that high end, and that's what we're looking for. Again, you've seen the Palm Jumeirah up 118%. And of course, Bugatti, Mercedes-Benz, and Lamborghini all want you living in their towers. And of course, the big one was 150 million, the record for the most expensive penthouse ever sold in the Middle East. And it all happened at a tower that doesn't even exist yet, right? By a luxury car brand that most people in the West don't even know what it is. So it's pretty amazing what's happening. And of course, UAE luxury property is set for a sustained boom, period, right? And projections are saying it's going to expand from $45 billion in 2025 to $71 billion by 2030. And it's all happening here, folks. Of course, we've also seen a rise as the $10 million home sales surged 54% in Q3. So it's actually accelerating. And of course, now Dubai outshines London, Miami, and Phuket. This is the place that people want to go. And look, the numbers just keep going, right? Real estate transactions jumping 31%. It's just where everybody wants to be right now when it comes to that ultra luxury. Let me talk about our latest deal. We're actually closing this right now. I've got a tiny little bit of allocation left for any member joining, and we can get you in on this. This is an inland deal, and you see a lot of family homes now that want greenery, right? They want fountains, they want lakes. You can actually find greenery in Dubai, right? People think this is like a desert, like Lawrence of Arabia. No, actually, I was at a place, our current project, actually, it's got a huge lake. It's got a stream. It looks like you're in Colorado. It's got vegetation everywhere, and they've been building this up for 25 years. Projecting a 40 to 60% return, premium location, perfect timing, high demand. And of course, it's filling very, very quickly, almost gone. And of course, I just think these returns are incredible. The risk versus reward is what's incredible because you're owning that property throughout the duration. It's a short amount of time. And to be able to get a 40 to 90% return with that low of a risk, it's just something I've never seen before. So how does London Real get access to these deals? Because it ain't my pretty smile and my fancy suits that get us in on these deals, right? Because everybody here is very smart. And unless you bring something to the table, you can't get a seat at the table, all right? And so what gets us in, what gives me the chance to give you access to these deals? It's London Real. We've been working for 15 years building this media platform that everyone knows. And that's the way we're going to make it happen. And that's the way we're going to get there. But folks, I think that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And that's exactly what we've been doing. We've been preparing. We've been making this happen. And now the success is coming our way. We've also spent the last 5 years investing over $25 million. And we've gotten very good at assessing risk and prudently investing that money. Folks, a lot of you probably feel like Drake on the top. You've tried to invest in property on your own and you've had a bad experience. Maybe you tried to buy that extra property to flip, and maybe you found yourself cleaning, fixing toilets on the weekend, right? Or stressing about all your properties and when you can sell them. I personally never wanted to be a part of that, right? But we all know real estate is a core part of any portfolio. And so we've got a way to change all that. Invest with myself and London Real through an SPV. Everything is transparent. You don't ever have to touch the property, see the property. All you do is get the returns at the end of the period. And I call it our luxury property investment circle. I'll be honest, folks, this thing has absolutely exploded, right? Mark and I are talking to each other probably 20 hours a day, right? I'm sure Mark's sick of me at this point because we're getting so much inbound flow of people that want to be a part of this. This is our fastest selling, best selling product we've ever launched in 15-year history because this is so obvious and clear to everybody, right? People understand property. They know Dubai is hot. They want a chance to take part in it, but they don't want to fly here and buy things and try to figure out the local laws and the currency. That's why we've got you covered. And if you go to londonreal.tv/Dubai, you can apply. It takes 20 seconds. We want you to apply, book a video call with one of my team members, and we'll walk you through exactly what you need to know in order to become a part of this really elite group of individuals. And again, let's just be clear. This doesn't exist without London Real, and I'm only giving London Realers the opportunity to jump in here. When you apply, I'm going to go do a background check on you. I'm going to find out how long you've been watching London Real, how many episodes you've watched. Have you been on some of my courses before? Did you come to my movie premieres in London? This all gets you extra points, all right, when it comes to joining. Because what I want is a core group of people who think alike that want to make a boatload of money over the next 10 years, right? Honestly, I'm too old to deal with nonsense, and I'm too old to deal with goofballs in this group. So, I want to make sure this is full of strong people, and we're just going to go hard. Folks, a lot of you know I ran to be London mayor in 2021 and 2024. I was really trying to change the city that I love and the city that gave me so much. It gave me my children. It gave me success. It gave me my show. I loved it so much. I called my show London Real, right? Last time I ran on a pro freedom of speech, pro blockchain platform. But the truth is that I don't think I can help London anymore. I just don't know what to do. It feels like it's fallen off the edge. And at some point, I've got to vote with my feet. And I've got to make the best decision for my investors and my family and for me. And so we are moving to Dubai, folks. This is our studio here that we've set up here. I've been filming episodes here for 2 years now. I call it London Real in Dubai. This is me sitting down with Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni. He's an Emirati who gave me my golden visa. He runs a blockchain center, the AI center. He's incredible and highly plugged in. This is me with Carl Moon, Bitcoin billionaire, drives his Bugatti around, has a crazy luxury property right around the corner. And of course, this is Chris Crypto. He actually has a villa on the Palm, and that's what all the Bitcoin billionaires have. By being around this crypto community, I've got to learn a lot about luxury, and they all are pointing me in the right direction and saying, Brian, you have to get involved in this. Folks, we're currently investing $3 million into 6 luxury refurbishment deals this quarter. We want to get you involved, but you have to move fast. And it's all because of this, London Real Ventures. This is the world's first media-powered investment firm. This has never been done in human history. No one's ever taken a broadcasting channel, right, with 1,000 interviews of the greatest minds on the planet, with 1 billion views, and combined it with a venture capital company with 25, 30, 40, 50, $100 million. When you put these things together, magic happens because no one's ever done this. Warren Buffett didn't do it. CNBC didn't do it. Nobody did it. They were separate, but they never put these together. And when you do that, magic happens. Right now, our magic is our portfolio. What you see here is the best of the best, the creme de la creme in blockchain and artificial intelligence. Some of these companies here have already become multi-billion-dollar companies since we've invested. This is one of our big wins we had last year. It was called Skillful AI on the blockchain. And in one day, it was up 20x and made my members a $4 million profit. This is called Shrapnel. And it was up 20x in 20 days and made my group a $5 million profit. This is called Mochaverse. It's a digital identification token that was up 20x on launch, made my members probably between $7 and $9 million. And here I am with the chairman of Animoca Brands, who runs this token, named Yatsu. He really is the future Elon Musk. And of course, this is one of our big wins called Story Protocol. This was up 42x, made $21 million profit for our investors. One of our members, Jose, who just joined the Property Circle, put $50,000 on this deal. He now is worth a cool $2 million on one deal. So when I told him about Property Circle, he's like, Brian, I'm in. I'm in. You know I'm in on everything you do. And he's already invested in this first deal. And of course, this is the $1 billion fund we invested in a few years ago, run by this guy, Dan Tapiero. He's already made 4x on our money, soon to spin up to 8x by the end of the year. He's got IPOs coming this year. We're putting another $1 million into his next $1 billion fund. And we just have a track record of success. And a lot of this comes from our media platform. We've now invested $25 million into over 100 deals, and we're just growing this model now out to Dubai luxury property. Folks, I was voted best venture capitalist of the year last year and accepted this award in Singapore. Yes, I do own a pink suit. If you got a problem with that, you can send me a message. I understand it's a little flashy, but these suits actually get us deal flow as well. And I was walking around in an orange suit today. There it is. Here I am at the Global Family Office Investment Summit, and I was receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. You can see the orange suit and the red suit, but we were being honored for our successful investments and our media over the past 15 years. And of course, a lot of people in crypto know me for another reason here, because last year I decided to lace up the gloves at the age of 54 and jump in with these punk kids. The guy in the middle is 27 and the other kid was 19 years old. I mean, Mikhail, what are they trying to do? Kill me? But I don't mind a good little fight here. And again, all this media attention really comes back to even better deals for us. Folks, how can we maximize our investment returns? Well, I always go to one of the OGs in the space named Ray Dalio. He is considered one of the greatest investors in the world with Bridgewater Capital, and he knows that diversification is the holy grail of investing. And I couldn't agree with you more. And that's why this is a typical member portfolio of people that invest with us. You got to have diversification. No matter how much I love the Dubai property market, I would never tell you to put 100% of your money into real estate. I would never tell you to put 100% of your money in Bitcoin, even though I'm a huge long-term believer. I would never tell you to put 100% of your money in equities or cash or fixed income instruments. But when you spread it out like this, it's been mathematically proven to increase your returns over time. Ray Dalio taught us that, and that's what I think you should be doing. Think about really diversifying these plays. If you own real estate, push your risk profile to Dubai luxury real estate and get rid of that home that you have in the UK that's earning you what, 4% a year, barely beating inflation? Why not come to a place where you can get 40% a year? Folks, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. We believe in action. We don't believe in me sitting around in London and whining and complaining about the government and complaining about the taxes. No, I'm going to leave and I'm going to come to where the money's being made, and I'm going to make sure my investors get wealthy. That's why I'm here. And so we're going to create our opportunities. We're not going to wait for somebody to give us these opportunities. And that's the spirit of what we do here at London Real. Folks, this is Ben Bhandari. He is the top real estate broker in Dubai, which says a lot because there's a lot of strong brokers here. He's also the star and one of the founders of $1 Million Listing UAE, which is the TV reality show that talks about brokers and property that just launched their second season. And I sat down with him recently on London Real. Here he is, the star of season 2. It's playing on Stars Play here. It's breaking all the records. And Ben was incredible. I sat down with him a couple months ago, and I said to Ben, I said, look, why are you here? Why Dubai? He actually came from Toronto about 20 years ago. And he said, Brian, I'm going to tell you why. Because this is the most incredible market I have ever seen. And, you know, when you're talking to a guy who really is kind of the best broker in town, you tend to actually listen to him a little bit and listen to kind of what he's saying. And so I sat down with him, and this is what he told me about Dubai real estate.
How did Dubai become one of the top 5 real estate markets in the world?
There's many factors. The safety and the security is next level. You won't find it anywhere in the world. The leadership had a vision to basically attract foreign investment, to bring basically expats here, and to basically expand the culture, the tourism, and the city itself. His Highness, he's just created a marketing machine. And they've done a great job. I mean, I've seen it all right from the beginning, from 2002 up until today. You have to come here, you have to see it, you have to experience it to believe it.
And we're seeing a lot of billionaires and a lot of other high net worth people bring their families here, invest in properties.
There's really no comparison. You have 1,000 families moving to Dubai weekly. Everybody's looking to come here. Everyone's looking to move here because of tax reasons, because of safety, because of security, because they want to park their money somewhere safe as well. There's so many factors. I mean, the list goes on. We can just sit here till tomorrow morning. Everyone moves to Dubai. The money pours in because of the safety, because of the security, because of the stability.
1,000 families a week. Is that what he said? Crazy, right? And again, security, stability. This is where people are actually moving their families, not just coming for business. This is where they're actually moving their families. And it's something I'm thinking more seriously about every single day. Takeaways from Ben is this. Number one, Dubai has safety and security, period. And that's what a lot of people want. And that's what a lot of corporate headquarters want as well. Leadership attracts investment. The royal family here has a 100-year plan. Show me a president or a prime minister, Mikhail, that has a 100-year plan. Are you kidding me? You're not going to find it. They got a 4-year plan and maybe a 2-year plan until they get elected, or a 1-year plan to line their pockets with illegal stock trading before they leave. Like, that's their plan. It's not a way to run a society. And I saw this when I ran for mayor. I remember I told my team one time, I said, if we do this correctly as mayor of London, the next mayor is going to take credit for everything we did. And I said to my team, are we okay with that? And we were all okay with that. But most people aren't. And it just shows you how the West is really, it's faltering. Whereas if you have a family here that literally it's their country, of course they're going to have a long-term vision. And that leadership is incredible here. And they are bold and audacious and very inspiring as well. Zero personal taxes, zero capital gains tax. It's a new playground for the wealthy and everybody else. I don't care if you're a Deliveroo driver, an Uber driver, you work at a hotel, you're a crypto person, a billionaire. Everybody comes here to build a better life for themselves. And this place gives them a better life than where they're from, no matter where they are. It's a place of hope. It's a place where if you hustle, you can win. And I love that. Folks, how do we create outsized returns in real estate? It's simple. It comes down to one thing: deal flow, deal flow, and deal flow. I am here on the ground using our media platform to get you the best deals possible so we can magnify those returns and compound them over many, many years. Now, I've been coming here for 5 years and I've gotten to know lots of people here, from the crypto billionaires to the members of government to the venture capitalists to the influencers. I've been on stage interviewing billionaires and the best people out there. I've premiered our movies here, and I've hung out with people like CZ here at Binance, who's worth 150 billion. I know what these people want. I know where they want to live, and now we're catering to their appetites. Folks, if you want to win in this space, you have to invest with the best. And that means you have to be able to get these outsized returns that are not going to be shown anywhere else. You're never going to read about this deal. I bet most of you have no idea or never heard of this market niche before. That's even if you were in Dubai, you would have never heard of this before. But that's why I'm here. I'm here to grab these deals when they happen. I do an emergency call with the property circle when I get a deal like this, and I get everybody on the phone and say, this is real. It's closing in 48 hours. Who wants in? This is our investor portal. When you join, you'll be jumping right in there. You can look at the outstanding deals and right away ask for certain allocations. Immediately, you can say, Brian, give me 20 grand, give me 50 grand, give me 100 grand, give me $1 million of this. And we'll do our best to get you filled as soon as possible. Folks, you got to understand the financial tools. And what we're doing here is very special because we're using something called an SPV. An SPV is a special purpose vehicle, right? And what it does is it holds a property inside of its own standalone legal entity. So owners like you and me and other members directly own the asset, the underlying property, while you also isolate all the risks from your personal wealth. It's actually a ring-fence structure. It provides stronger legal protection, cleaner tax treatment, actually easier financing and partnerships, which we're getting for all of our deals. And this also allows us, anybody in the world, to participate. And also you can invest as a trust or a company as you choose. This is our platform that we use to do KYC, which is Know Your Customer. And we also use that to set up the SPV. We'll get you onboarded right away. Mark, we had, I think, 4 people join yesterday. They're already on this platform. So we'll get you in there immediately so we can close this deal. Folks, how do you create generational wealth? You have to pull the trigger. You know what? The last thing you need to do is watch another podcast about Dubai real estate. It's to read another article about Dubai real estate. It's to plan your trip to Dubai in May. It's like, if you want to take advantage of something, the only way to really understand it is to pull the trigger. Action is how you actually get information. Some people are starting off with us small. They're like, Brian, whatever small is for you. For some people, they're like, here's 10 grand, Brian. I want you to show me what you can do first. Great. Some people say, here's 100 grand. Show me what you can do first. If that works, I'll give you $1 million. And they're all starting off. They want to see this happen. Once it happens, they're going to start adding that wealth, and we can start multiplying those returns over many years. Folks, timing matters, because if you wait, you're just going to miss this. I cannot expand the SPVs once they fill. I can't put more money in a deal that has a finite cost structure. So you're just going to miss it. Early investors get priority by definition, right? So if you come late, you're going to get late access. Deals close very fast. A hot deal should be closed in 48 hours. I need to be able to get in touch with you and show it to you. And the longer of a better of a relationship we have, the easier it is to do that. And of course, once allocations are gone, they're gone. Look, I just want to say this is for serious investors only. I want people who want access, not theory. And I learned one thing in Wall Street over my 15 years. It wasn't the smartest people that made the most money. It wasn't even the richest people that made the most money. It was the people with access to the hot deals. And that could mean who you are or who you knew, but I saw it over and over again. The people that had access to the deal flow made the most money. That's what I'm offering you, access. I'm not offering theory. I'm not here to teach you the in and outs. Save that for something else. I'm here to give you incredible returns. That's it. That's all I'm here to do. And this is for people who want real assets, not speculation. You want transparency. You want an SPV ring fence structure, and you want access to real opportunities happening right now on the ground. I mean, I've been to so many properties in the last week, my head's still spinning. I get exhausted going to these luxury properties. I know it sounds silly, right? It's a hard day. It's a high quality problem. Oh, not another penthouse. Oh, it's like my ears pop when I go up the elevators now. It's hard, right? People waiting on me hand and foot. But no, it is tiring because you're just all over the place and trying to find out where is the best returns we can get for our members. Folks, the best thing to do is apply now or just join us if you've already applied. This is a no-brainer, right? We're offering a private membership here to access to all the deals. It's only being given to people that are inside this group. It's a lifetime of premium opportunities. Once you're in for a lifetime membership. And I thought very carefully about this, right? Actually, in the very beginning, we had an annual membership, and I thought, you know what? I want to find out who really wants in. And once they're in and once they're investing, then that's proof to me that you're all in on what we're doing. And all I want to do is make money when you make money. That's what we want to do. We don't want to make money off our fees. We only make money when you make money, period. That's how we structure this. And of course, this is a chance for you to build generational wealth. Imagine compounding 40, 50, 70, 80, 90% returns over 4, 3, 4, 5 years. That doesn't just double and triple your money. It can take you way beyond that. And again, you can start with as little as a $10,000 investment on your first deal. Folks, the best thing to do is apply now at LearnReal.tv/Dubai or book a video call with Mark and find out how to get your membership started now. When you join us, you'll get a WhatsApp message from me. You have personal access to me. We'll get you in onboarded as soon as possible, and we can even get you in this current deal if you move really fast. And I just want to close by saying this is the most powerful money-making opportunity I have ever seen. I have never seen such a high reward with such a low risk. All right. Now, it's not no risk. There's nothing with no risk that has a reward. Let's be clear. But I've never seen something with such a low risk, something that's backed by the physical ownership of a property that you can spin out in 12 to 14 months for those kinds of profits. Never seen anything like that in my life. Folks, here's that bonus I promised you. If you go to LearnReal.tv/replay, you can learn how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. So please enjoy that. And now I'd love to answer any questions. If you have them, just put them in the chat. Don't be shy. Go ahead and type them in there and I can answer those. Like I said, we're super busy, but we like being busy. Mark and I are both swamped. We're trying to get back to people when they're asking us questions, and also just onboarding people is really hard because people are joining in all these different time zones. We're trying to get them on, access to the first deal. And of course, I'm trying to source those future deals, and I'm the reality TV show as well. But the conversations I'm having behind the scenes, it's crazy, Mark. Today I was thinking, you know what? I can't wait for our members to listen what this guy just told me, right? Because he's showing me inside baseball, inside market knowledge on why we're getting outsized returns. I actually don't really want it to be on the internet, honestly, because some of the info is like, I'd rather keep it to ourselves. But it's very specifics on why this transformation process is making more money than other things. But that'll be out soon. And we should wrap filming on that this week. And then we're probably going to drop that series probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But we are literally closing our first deal tomorrow on this yacht. So it should be excellent. And again, I would just say, don't overanalyze this. Dan Pena taught me one thing. He said, a deal is either hot or it's not. That's what he said. He said, you don't need a spreadsheet to tell you that. And look, I'm a big fan of due diligence. We always run the numbers and we check on things. But I also know that I know in the first 5 seconds whether a deal is hot or not. And Dan used to say it's like a man or a woman. You know right away if they're hot or not. And the same is true about a deal. And I think that's why all of you are here, because when you saw that, email or you saw that landing page, you said, wait a second, there's something special. I know something special is happening in Dubai. I know I want to be a part of it. Brian's on the ground. Interesting. It's luxury. Interesting. It's 12-month, 16-month turnaround. Even more interesting. So that's right away. There's something hot here. And again, I would say fortune favors the brave, and it's really all about pulling that trigger. And again, start small. Start small, see how we do. And once we show you what we can do, then you can add from there. And that's what we plan on doing. So look, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I've done this presentation now, I think about 7 or 8 times with different parts of news, but I think I've kind of figured out most of the questions people ask me. So I try to answer those even before people get there. But all I would say, folks, is we look forward to having you on the inside. I'm here on the ground to make sure we get the most returns possible and make the most money possible. For me, this is an absolute no-brainer. If you've been a part of our brand for a long time, if you've watched our videos, if you watched us fight for freedom back in 2020, 2021, you know that we will keep fighting. And you also know us really well. And that's why I'm here, because I'm here to source the deals, to create incredible returns, and really ride this and create generational wealth for every single one of our members. So that's the plan. I hope you can book a call with Mark. I hope I see you on the inside. I hope I see you tonight on the inside. And until then, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.